minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you to Ranking Member Cole. I rise today to speak in opposition to the underlying legislation on H.Res. 965. The process that has led to this debate is unacceptable. After a previous failed attempt to bring similar rules change package to the floor last month, I was hopeful that the work of a bipartisan task force to reopen the House would result in genuine willingness toward bipartisan solutions. I was optimistic that our Democratic majority would partner with us to help this body adapt to the coronavirus pandemic. We Republicans on that task force offered a realistic framework to make responsible, measured, and thorough reforms to get the whole House working again. That plan was dismissed out of hand by the Democratic majority with no alternative. It was not until Wednesday morning, just 2 days ago, with the release of H.Res. 965, that we saw any semblance of a plan, and in no way was it a product of bipartisanship or greater member input. The majority's unwillingness to work in a collaborative way was reinforced yesterday at the Rules Committee hearing when not one common sense amendment offered by the minority was accepted. Common sense amendments like requiring the technology used by the House to be certified by the CAO, rejected. Requiring technical support during virtual committee activity, rejected. Allowing the entire House of Representatives to weigh in on the type of remote voting this body follows, rejected. Not only is this resolution completely partisan, it's being rushed to the floor while there are still an unacceptable amount of unanswered questions, both on the specifics of the processes authorized and the rules changes and the technology to support it. I know that this morning at 6 a.m. we were provided a copy of the regulations that the Rules Committee plans on issuing. Is that the same type of consultation that we can expect for the remote hearing changes that are left to one member of the majority to decide? The House is on the receiving end of 1.6 billion unauthorized scans on our network per month. After broadcasting to the world that members are going to now be able to cast their vote or operate in this institution remotely, I don't know about you, Madam Speaker, but I expect those to increase. What further reduces my confidence in these sweeping changes that will not have their stated effect is the feedback from virtual committee roundtables that have already been attempted by every committee. There have been instances, the majority staff kicking participants off video conferences because they had not RSVP'd. And while I have some time, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record a list of the concerns that our ranking members have provided me on the House Administration Committee.
Without objection.
Thank you. Members' personal information on these roundtables already have been viewed publicly. Members being dropped from platforms because of poor connections. Members being unable to participate in web-based events due to poor internet connections in rural areas. And the list goes on. I mention these examples not to say that all virtual proceedings cannot or should not be authorized, but I share these issues as further proof that the crawl, walk, run approach is necessary to make virtual proceedings, make sure that they're done successfully. In closing, I'd like to reiterate what I shared to the Rules Committee hearing yesterday. I want to encourage all of us to take a step back. I want to make sure that we don't have precedent that is set that will create a brand new process. We're not here simply debating an outdated rule, Madam Speaker. We are here debating what kind of institution we want the People's House to be and the example that we want to set for the American people and the rest of the world. If we vote to adopt H.Res. 965, we are setting a new precedent that will forever change the processes that we are used to in the House of Representatives. It opens a Pandora's box. It provides constitutional risks. And in times of crisis, America should trust their leaders. Vote no on H.Res. 965. I yield back.